Welcome to today's Employer Brand Management Awards 2020. I'm Andrew Thomas, the publisher of Communicate magazine and the founder of the Employer Brand Management Awards. And with me, helping make this as smooth a process as possible, I've got Brittany Gollop, Communicate magazine's editor. Now, some of you watching this have been to the Employer Brand Management Awards gala dinner before. A night to remember, I'm sure you'll agree. For some of you though, this was going to be your first year. But for all of you, well, I guess I'm really sorry we have to do it this way. We put it back, but eventually we've had to put it online. That's the way it is. We are where we are. But let me tell you something. The work we celebrate tonight was sent in before coronavirus. And coronavirus has changed everything. It changed the way we work. It changed the way our children are educated. It changed the way we travel and the way we spend time with our friends, our relatives, and even strangers, and those whose tracks run parallel to the paths we take. It changed the way we govern our lives, and it changed the way our lives are governed. The challenges and the changes we face aren't just economic. They're bigger than that. We face a major recalibration of the way we relate to the businesses, the organisations, the employers, and the people who touch our lives. We face a massive change in the way we view our working week, our working life, our world of work. And it's going to be a big challenge. But you know, we've been running the Employer Brand Management Awards for 5 years now. And I've seen your submissions. I've seen the insight, the understanding of the problems and the strategy behind the solutions from the winners of these awards. More than ever before, we're going to need your insight, that strategic thinking, that creativity. And I know that no matter what trophy you win this afternoon, whether it's highly commended or silver, bronze or gold, it's your skills that the world is going to need. Your skills, your talents have never been more important. And you know what? Tonight, we're going to celebrate those talents and those skills. So let's get down to business. Before we reveal the winners, let me tell you a few things about the way it's going to work tonight. First off, we don't believe in long, cynical shortlists. If your name is read out, you've already won a gold, a silver, a bronze, or a highly commended. Basically, if you're watching this because you've seen your name on the shortlist, you know you're a winner. However, as is the way in life, some of you are more of a winner than others. So how do we decide this? Well, we're lucky to have a fantastic judging panel. We had 21 judges from employer brand, from talent attraction, from HR roles, plus, of course, the winning agency of last year's Best Creative Execution Award. And they had a tough job on their hands. They ploughed their way through the submissions and they awarded points ranked against the various entry criteria of each separate category, such as challenge, strategy, creativity, innovation, and results. And it's those scores that determine the winners. But it is a scoring system, which means sometimes we might celebrate a category with a gold and a bronze, but no silver. Or even a bronze and a silver, but no gold. We're mainly comparing within each category, but ultimately we're also comparing work across the board. And therefore, we need to have a consistency with those standards. It's a complicated process, but one thing I do know is that it's a process that the judges have taken very seriously. So who are those judges? Well, they are fantastic judges, so I'm going to thank them now. I'd like to say thank you to Lizzie Barrett from Symphony Talent, to Simon Barrow, Rebecca Causey from IBM, Neil Daly from Baker Hughes, Jen Doyle from the Financial Conduct Authority, Helen Durkin from Indeed.com, Jonah Ginny from Vodafone, Catherine Hearn from the BBC, Alison Heron from GSK, Nikki Ivory Chapman from Channel 4, Graham Johnson from GVC, Rob Lewis from L'Oreal, Dominique Mallion from Philips, Ewan McNair from Royal London, Penny Newman from Lewis Silkin, Tim Small, Chris Stewart from McKesson, Jorgen Sundberg from Link Humans, Chloe Sweden from Munsnet, Amy Turner from Bumble, and Heather Walker from SAP. So whether you're watching this in the office or at home, raise your mug of coffee or your glass of champagne and let's give a toast to those judges. And while I'm saying thank you, I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Carter Communications, Comprend, and Tint, and of course our supporters, Bladenmore, Link Humans, and the team. Okay, let's do this. Let's reveal the winners of the 2020 Employer Brand Management Awards. Brittany, are you ready? Because I'm ready. And hopefully you're all ready too. And by ready, I mean ready with those hashtags to your various social media channels. The hashtag you'll need tonight is EBM Awards. Couldn't be easier. Right. Okay, our first category this evening is Best Communication of the Employer Brand to the External Audience. Shortlisted in this category, we have Dixon's Carphone and Tonic, GVC and PH Creative, Nexans and Symphony Talent, Shell, and Toolstation supported by That Little Agency. Now let's first hear from some of those who made tonight's shortlist. Now, before Brittany reveals our first set of gold, silver and bronze winners, I'm pleased to announce that the judges awarded Dixon's Carphone and Tonic are highly commended in this category. Brittany, how did the rest of the shortlist do?
We have a double bronze for GVC with PH Creative and Nexans with Symphony Talent. Silver is awarded to Toolstation, supported by That Little Agency, and our first gold is taken home by Shell. Shell employees wrote letters to the future, which were turned into films and subsequently showcased across social platforms, internally, on campus events, and in collateral. The engagement stats bowled over our judges, who said that this was an inventive and emotive entry that remained connected to a key corporate message.
On to our next award. It's Best Communication of the Employer Brand to the Internal Audience. Shortlisted in this category are GVC and PH Creative, Hammerson and Synergy Creative, Mars and Symphony Talent, MyCSP, and MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions. Again, let's see a short video from some of those on the shortlist.
From making an impact, to making friends, to creating places where people and brands want to be. This is Hammerson Life. Live it together.
Before we hear the winners, the judges awarded Hammerson and Synergy Creative are highly commended in this category. Congratulations. Brittany, reveal who else takes home what?
Bronze is awarded to MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions. It's silver for Mars and Symphony Talent, and it's a double gold awarded to GVC with PH Creative and MyCSP. Sports betting and gaming group GVC had 23 distinct brands, all with their own cultures and ways of working. PH Creative helped them to create a new employer brand, and they rose to the challenge of getting the internal audience on board and fast. One judge praised the clearly thought-out strategy to embed the employer brand, while another commented on the great visual design. Pension Administrator MyCSP was the first mutual to spin out of the central government. Using face-to-face briefings, regular emails, updates across the internet, employee partnership, and an internal magazine, among other tools, it renewed and streamlined its vision to engage all its colleagues. One judge said MyCSP was a clear winner, adding that it had a significant challenge to overcome legacy systems and ways of working and an entrenched mindset.
Moving on now to Best Short-Term or One-Off Employer Brand Campaign. The shortlist features G4S and Creed Communications, Metropolitan Police and Tonic, Nexans and Symphony Talent, Rolls-Royce and Blackbridge Communications, the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP, and the National Trust with 33. Let's first hear from those shortlisted. There were two highly commended in this category, and they are G4S and Creed Communications, and the National Trust and 33. Brittany, back to you to reveal the other winners.
Bronze is taken home by Nexens and Symphony Talent. A joint silver is awarded to Rolls-Royce with Blackbridge Communications, and the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. And it's gold for Metropolitan Police and Tonic. Half of Britain's ethnic minority police officers work at London's Metropolitan Police, and just under 30% are female. To mark the 100-year anniversary of the first female officers to serve in the Met, it set ambitious targets and smashed them. Judges were impressed by every aspect of this project. One said, "Wow, just wow." Highly emotive and memorable, yet grounded in reality. An incredibly integrated campaign with stellar results.
We're revealing the winners in the Best Digital Communication of the Employer Brand next. Here's our shortlist. Dixon's Carphone and Tonic. GVC and PH Creative. Nexens and Symphony Talent. RBS and PH Creative. Selfridges. And the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. Let's see a short video from some of those on the shortlist. Highly commended in this category are Dixon's Carphone and Tonic, and RBS and PH Creative. Brittany, let's hear from you on the rest.
Bronze is awarded to Selfridges. Silver is awarded jointly to GVC with PH Creative and Nexens with Symphony Talent. And the gold winners are the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. The AA wanted to reinforce the long-standing relationship it has with those serving the armed forces. As for many, the AA is an option when they return to civilian life. Working with People Scout and TMP, it created a 24-hour live-streamed endurance challenge to highlight that AA employees are ready for anything. After the launch, site traffic increased 320% and applications went up by 266%. Judges praised the innovation in digital communications, and one said that it delivered a consistent message and was implemented successfully across all target platforms.
Our next category recognises the best use of social media in the management or promotion of the employer brand. Successfully shortlisted in the category are AXA UK and 33, GVC and PH Creative, Metropolitan Police and Tonic, O2 and Chatter Communications, Rolls-Royce and Blackbridge Communications, and the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. Let's hear from those shortlisted. AXA UK and 33, along with O2 and Chatter Communications, have been recognised with a highly commended award. Brittany, it's a tough competition in this category, but who was victorious?
Bronze goes to GVC and PH Creative. Silver is claimed by Rolls-Royce and Blackbridge Communications, and it's a joint gold for Metropolitan Police and Tonic and for the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. Tonic worked with the Met Police on a campaign to recruit 2,000 officers while improving the diversity of its staff. Do Something Real became the overarching messaging for a campaign that showed the reality of policing, featuring serving officers as they did their jobs. Judges thought this was a strategic, creative approach with clear objectives. Meanwhile, the AA's 24-hour live-streamed endurance event found out who was truly ready for anything. The event content was integrated into the social media campaign, and the engagement results were impressive. One judge said, "Knocked it out of the park. Excellent use of social media and a different way to engage audience. Stand out in terms of innovation."
Our next award recognises the best alignment of the employer value proposition with corporate brand values. Shortlisted are Hearst and Chatter Communications, Mars and Symphony Talent, Rolls-Royce and Blackbridge Communications Limited, SAP, and Vodafone with Creed Communications. So let's hear from some of those shortlisted. The highly commended is awarded to Rolls-Royce and Blackbridge Communications, but Brittany, who takes home the other trophies?
It's bronze for SAP. Silver is taken home by Vodafone and Creed Communications, and it's double gold for Hearst and Chatter Communications and for Mars and Symphony Talent. Hearst appointed Chatter Communications to help it develop and align its EVP to its values, while developing its employer brand and making sure the values were embedded across the business. One judge said there was a very clear definition and alignment to the corporate values and articulation of the culture. At the beginning of 2018, the Mars EVP and creative platform were independent of the corporate brand. Symphony Talent helped re-articulate the EVP positioning and messaging to align with Mars's new corporate brand positioning and visual identity, as well as to launch a new careers website. Judges were so impressed by the extent to which Mars managed to align its employer brand with its corporate brand without ignoring the character of its consumer brand portfolio.
Next up, we have Best Diversity Brand. Shortlisted are AXA UK and 33, Metropolitan Police and Tonic, Sussex Police and Tonic, and Transport for London with TMP. Let's watch a short video from some of those on the shortlist.
It's a double bronze for AXA UK with 33 and for Transport for London with TMP. Silver is awarded to Sussex Police and Tonic, which means it's gold for the Metropolitan Police and Tonic. Wanting to increase the number of female and BAME officers in London, Tonic was tasked with creating a campaign that would debunk myths around physical strength, highlighting the need for mental and emotional toughness. Judges were so impressed with the campaign's creativity, impact, and results. It was a brilliant, emotive campaign that had a big job to do, one of the judges said.
Next, we're awarding the best use of employer brand in customer marketing. And SAP knocked out the competition early on. Brittany, what do they win? Is it a bronze? Is it a silver? Gold?
SAP takes home the gold. SAP is a diverse global operation. It doesn't necessarily have an SAP persona, so its new EVP was built around storytelling that established SAP as a great place to work and told how it uses technology to help the world run better. And judges clearly felt that was best.
We're now on to the Best Employer Brand Management Programme following a change of mission, positioning or management. It's a head-to-head between Dixon's Carphone and Tonic and Mars and Symphony Talent. Let's hear from some of those on the shortlist. Brittany, who wins this battle?
Silver is awarded to Dixon's Carphone and Tonic, which means it's gold for Mars and Symphony Talent. The new Mars corporate positioning and brand identity meant big changes for the Mars employer reputation, so it worked with Symphony Talent to align the two. Before the external launch, a number of key activities and events took place to make sure the EVP was embedded internally, including training sessions, webinars, and a global summit. Judges were impressed with the authenticity of this strategy as well as the efficacy of the content.
Our next category is for the Best Employer Brand Management Programme following a merger or acquisition. And making the shortlist, we have GVC and PH Creative, and TPX Communications with CeeLo. Let's hear from those shortlisted.
silver goes to TPX Communications and Cielo, which means it's gold for GVC and PH Creative. GVC has grown over the past few years through multiple mergers and acquisitions. From an employee perspective, this has left a legacy of fractured systems and siloed working. So PH Creative was tasked with building a global employer brand framework that aligns the internal workforce and raised awareness around GVC while allowing the local culture and brands to retain their individual identities. One judge said this had a very well thought out strategy and creative direction, and added that it was a great example of a total employer brand program. I would have liked to have done this, they said.
On to Best Employee Experience. It's August and Make Love, but let's find out which award they'll take home this evening. Brittany, let us know.
Avgoost and Make Love take home a silver award tonight. Congratulations! When Avgoost moved to a new data storage and processing platform, SAP HANA, it was unfamiliar for employees, so it enlisted branding agency Make Love to facilitate the implementation of the new platform. They created a cartoon character named Sap, which explains the functions of the platform, compiled instructions, and operated like a live software consultant. Employees tamed Sap, helped him get comfortable, and learned how to interact with him. Sap grows and evolves, showing how employee relations with the SAP platform are developing.
Our next category is Best Employer Brand Management Event. In the running are GVC and PH Creative, MTS and Make Love, RBS and Tonic, Sainsbury's and TMP, and SAP. Let's hear from those shortlisted first. SAP takes home the highly commended. However, Brittany, who takes home the other awards in this category?
Bronze is shared between RBS and Tonic and Sainsbury's and TMP. Silver is awarded to MTS and Make Love, and the winner of the Gold Award is GVC and PH Creative. GVC launched its new employer brand with a TV show-style party, with the CEO and directors as participants, showcasing the key roles everyone had played in the making of the employer brand. One judge said they loved the setup and the creativity of the event. Another added, "I love that they made sure global teams could still be involved by live streaming the event."
Our next award is for the Best Brand Ambassador Programme. Going for gold, we've got Elsevier, the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP, and Wiser. Let's hear from the shortlisted first. Brittany, who stood out in this category?
Bronze is awarded to the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. That means it's silver for Elsevier, and taking home gold is Wiser. Wiser relies on an extensive network of student ambassadors operating across the country. To further develop that network, it launched the Wiser Academy, which worked with 200 students from across 60 university campuses in 2019. The new brand ambassadors saw an increase in referrals from 86 to nearly 1,000, securing new business and undeniably supporting Wiser's business objectives.
Up next is Best Employer Brand Innovation. Making the shortlist here, we have Creed Communications, Data Art, SAP, and the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. Our judges awarded the highly commended to Data Art. Brittany, it's back over to you.
Bronze is awarded to SAP. Silver's taken home by Creed Communications, and it's gold for the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. After launching its new employer brand, the AA looked at ways of bringing it to life. It took its existing 2D chatbot and created a 3D animated version using augmented reality and a related app, AA Bot Drop. Over a 10-day period where AA Bot Drop was showcased, there was an average of 45,000 page views on the AA Careers website, compared with a normal daily average of 1,300.
We've now got the award for Best Localization of a Global Employer Brand Management Program. It's SAP in the frame, but are they going to take home bronze, silver, or gold? Brittany.
I can reveal it's a gold. In recent years, SAP's biggest growth market has been in Greater China. With Western social channels blocked in China, distinct cultural differences and language barriers, it had a challenge to localize its EVP campaign while keeping its global brand consistent. It created messaging and content for Chinese language social media accounts and built a collection of employee stories from Greater China and the Asia-Pacific region.
Before we announce our Best in Sector awards, we're going to award the Best Ongoing Commitment to Employer Brand Management. The shortlist here is MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions and SAP. Brittany, who takes home what prize?
It's bronze for MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions, and it's the top prize of silver for SAP. SAP is a B2B software brand that is often misperceived as dull and uncreative, which makes competing for talent against consumer brands challenging. To challenge this misconception and to showcase the women working at SAP, it created the Women Who Rock social campaign with a view to increasing its female workforce.
The next section of our awards recognises the best in sector. Who here stands out amongst their peers? The first is awarded to the Best Employer Brand Management from the energy and utilities sector. Shell stood out amongst their competitors, but Brittany, is their employer brand management worthy of a bronze, a silver, or a gold?
Shell wins gold. When Shell created its new employer brand, it wanted to improve brand preference among top candidates. It humanized Shell as an employer through the authentic voices of its own employees. Shell employees were featured in the campaign, which included a series of videos. Judges thought this was a fantastic entry in terms of its inventiveness and emotional resonance, combined with the clarity of messaging.
Next up, we've got the engineering and manufacturing sector. In the running here are Balfour Beatty and SMRS, Jaguar Land Rover and Creed Communications, and Nissan and Make Love. Brittany, it's a highly commended for Nissan and Make Love, but what do our other contenders take home?
It's silver for Jaguar Land Rover and Creed Communications. Balfour Beatty and SMRS win the gold. Balfour Beatty needed a new employer brand that would develop an emotional connection. The program, Shape Everything, created a brand that makes heroes out of Balfour Beatty's people and showcases a strong and positive culture. To stand out visually in a crowded and uniform market, SMRS ensured that hard hats and high-vis jackets were out. Instead, it put people first, showing the faces behind the business, bringing diversity to the fore in the process.
Next, we're on to the financial services sector. Shortlisted here are Assurant and Creed Communications, Home Credit Bank and Make Love, MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions, and RBS with PH Creative. The highly commended is presented to Home Credit Bank and Make Love. But Brittany, please reveal the remaining winners.
It's bronze for MyCSP on behalf of Civil Service Pensions. Silver is awarded to Assurant and Creed Communications. That means it's gold for RBS and PH Creative. Using a strategy entitled Greater Good, PH Creative helped RBS develop a range of initiatives that deliberately sat outside specific talent attraction. This helped align the employer brand across two key personas in constant demand: digital and customer services. Judges said that this was a meticulously planned program with an excellent creative concept.
We're now moving on to Best Employer Brand in the FMCG sector. Brittany, is it a gold, silver, or bronze for Mars and Symphony Talent? Before we hear that, let's see a small video from them.
Mars and Symphony Talent are taking home a gold. Mars's new brand positioning, Tomorrow Starts Today, is concerned with thinking about how actions taken today affect the business and the world tomorrow. This was carried through the new employer framework through the launch of the Mars corporate brand. Both the corporate and career sites featured messaging, successfully uniting the two for the first time.
Turning our attention to the food and beverage sector next. Wanting to know if they've won a gold is McDonald's and MJCC. Let's find out. Do they?
McDonald's and MJCC have won a gold. Despite a strong and recognizable consumer brand, there were many misconceptions about McDonald's as an employer. It was viewed as a place that only offered job opportunities to young people or those seeking short-term employment. In Poland, the sector had a high employee turnover balanced against a low overall unemployment rate. So McDonald's appointed MJCC to build a campaign that would increase the number of applicants by 50%. It created a combination of TV and radio spots featuring young employees, press articles focusing on mature people, and a new careers website aimed at diversified candidates. A year after launch, applications had increased by 282%.
We next have Best Employer Brand in the healthcare and pharmaceutical sector. Shortlisted here, we have Elsevier, My Dentist and SMRS, Wellstar Health Systems and CeeLo. Let's hear from some of those shortlisted first. Brittany, please reveal our winners.
Bronze is awarded to Elsevier. It's silver for Wellstar Health Systems and CeeLo, and the gold is presented to My Dentist and SMRS. My Dentist has over 4 million NHS and private patients at more than 600 dental practices throughout the UK, works with thousands of dentists and employs practice support and head office staff. Despite this, it had a perception issue and was viewed by some as a faceless corporate giant. SMRS helped to give the company personality. It added credibility, color, and an honesty to the brand assets.
On to the award now for the Best Employer Brand in the professional services sector. Brittany, what will Dentons and Tonic take home?
Congratulations, Dentons and Tonic, it's a gold. International law firm Dentons wanted a look and feel that would make it stand out in the sector. Tonic created a graduate brochure, event collateral, a film, and a global careers website in the Challenger style. The initial 2,500 brochures were on stands at 22 campuses across the country where they were so well received it forced a reprint.
We're now recognising the Best Employer Brand Management from the property, construction and facilities management sector. Is it a bronze, silver or gold for Places for People and Creed Communications?
Places for People and Creed Communications have been awarded the gold. Places for People has grown organically through acquisition and mergers, which has led to a degree of cultural confusion for its 12,800 employees. It created a unified employer brand that was flexible enough to engage a large range of employees and celebrate the business's ambition and perspective.
Okay, let's now find out who has the Best Employer Brand Management from the public sector. And it's a head-to-head battle between the Metropolitan Police with Tonic and Transport for London with TMP. Brittany, over to you.
It's a silver for Transport for London and TMP, which means it's a gold for the Metropolitan Police and Tonic. The Do Something Real campaign portrayed serving officers in the field doing their jobs. This took the form of static and video creative and radio ads. The video was shot in a documentary style and featured on all major news channels. In terms of impact, 45% claimed their perception of working for the Met had become more positive after seeing the ads. Judges said it was a sound example of understanding a challenge and exceeding expectations.
now got the Best Employer Brand Management from the retail sector. In the running for a gold, we have Dixons Carphone and Tonic, Iceland and Creed Communications, Sainsbury's and TMP, and Toolstation, supported by That Little Agency. Brittany, over to you. Please reveal our winners.
It's bronze for Iceland and Creed Communications. Silver is shared between Dixons Carphone with Tonic and Sainsbury's with TMP. That means it's gold for Toolstation, supported by That Little Agency. Toolstation wanted a new employer proposition that would answer the simple question of what makes Toolstation an enviable employer. Working with That Little Agency, it identified 4 core audiences, and those formed the foundation of both internal and external research, played a key part in focus groups, online surveys, and in-depth interviews. The findings were then articulated in a single statement: together, we'll get the job done.
And now, one of my favourites. It's Best Employer Brand Management from the technology, media and telecommunications sector. Shortlisted here, we have Hearst and Chatter Communications, SAP, Sky and Symphony Talent, and TPX Communications and CeeLo. But let's hear from some of those shortlisted first. The highly commended is presented to SAP. But Brittany, who takes home the other awards?
Bronze goes to Hearst and Chatter Communications. Silver is awarded to TPX Communications and CeeLo, and it's gold for Sky and Symphony Talent. Creating an EVP framework that consisted of 4 drivers representing the key reasons why Sky is a great place to work, at the heart of the messaging was a positioning line, a job you love to talk about. A new careers website saw a 55% upturn from the old site. One judge said the campaign clearly linked the corporate brand and values. It was executed well, it had impressive deployment externally across all touchpoints, and shows success.
We've got 2 more awards in this Best of Sector section before we reveal the winners of the top 2 accolades of the night, the Best Creative Execution and the Grand Prix. But first, it's Best Employer Brand Management from the transport and logistics sector. Shortlisted here, we have Hermes and Creed Communications, and the AA in partnership with PeopleScout and TMP. Brittany, please announce the winners.
Silver is presented to the AA in partnership with PeopleScout and TMP. Therefore, it's gold for Hermes and Creed Communications. During the busy Christmas period, Hermes needed to recruit 8,000 temporary couriers. Demographic research helped it map a potential audience throughout the UK by identifying where potential couriers were most prevalent and where the campaign might struggle. Tracking data from other successful campaigns enabled them to tailor an attraction strategy targeting active and passive candidates. It helped successfully deliver 8,532 new people.
And finally, the Best Employer Brand Management from the travel, leisure and tourism sector. Shortlisted here, we have GVC and PH Creative, and the National Trust and 33. Let's see a short video first. Brittany, it's back to you. Let's hear who's won what.
Silver is awarded to the National Trust and 33, and it's golds for GVC and PH Creative. GVC has grown through multiple M&As, which from an employee perspective had left a legacy of fractured systems and created confusion, with the experience for external candidates being particularly confusing. Following extensive research, For the Good of Entertainment was developed as a new identity and brand look and feel with iconography, office environment, merchandise, values, recruitment, engagement, and cultural pieces. It also built a new careers website from scratch, ensuring that going forward, GVC had only one careers destination.
And now, our final two awards, the top accolades. the Best Creative Execution of the Employer Brand, and the Grand Prix. There are no shortlists in these categories, so anyone who was shortlisted is in the running to receive one of these coveted awards. Let's get to it and reveal the Best Creative Execution of the Employer Brand. Brittany, over to you.
Attracting the right kind of talent requires a company to break out of the fixed ways of thinking about established processes. This is exactly what this year's winner did. The Employer Brand was designed to reach out to audiences that might not have considered this organization as a career destination. The program also displayed an innovative use of social media to get its message across and had the double effect of reaching a wide but still relevant audience while also creating an engaging experience for its employees. I am delighted to announce that this year's winner for Best Creative Execution of the Employer Brand are the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP.
Well, congratulations to the AA in partnership with People Scout and TMP. It's time now to reveal our 2020 Grand Prix winner. Brittany, again, it's over to you.
This year's winner demonstrated an ability to put together innovative, memorable campaigns using excellent storytelling. Its use of powerful creative across a range of media delivered its messages with clarity and added a strong emotive element to the work. Creating an impactful and coherent employer brand across such a large organization is difficult, and it managed to go above and beyond whilst embodying the very essence of the Employer Brand Management Awards. The 2020 Grand Prix is awarded to the Metropolitan Police and Tonic.
And with that award given, we draw to a close this year's Employer Brand Management Awards. We hope you can continue to toast your success, though obviously only in groups of 6. For some of you at home, however, you are unable to invite anyone to share your triumph, so don't forget to shout about your success across social media. The hashtag to use is EBM Awards. If you want to find out who won what, and crucially why, the winner's book is available now from employerbrandmanagementawards.com. Entries for the 2021 awards are opening soon, so the 2nd of November. And we, quite excitingly, have added more categories to cover more areas of the employee journey. So a big thank you to all of you for joining us. I've had a blast. Most importantly, we hope to see all of you and many more in person at next year's Employer Brand Management Awards. Stay well, stay safe. Thank you.